Well, Jays fans, it's kind of been a whirlwind over the last couple of weeks for Blue Jay fans. Remember last week, I guess, for Blue Jay fans. After the George Springer signing and the Michael Brantley, we all thought he signed. I even did a video on it, then had to take it down because they didn't sign him. And then today, we all knew they were trying to shore up the infield defense. That was something, that and pitching, which is still a need. We all knew the Blue Jays were kind of still going after those type of few things. And they acquired that today with acquiring Marcus Semien on a one-year deal, $18 million contract. Now, this is a very good deal for Blue Jays, for the Toronto Blue Jays for many reasons. Number one, you can't go wrong with a one-year contract. You just can't. Second of all, yes, Marcus Semien did not put up a good 2020 season, but really, 2020 was a weird year for a lot of players, right? He hit 223 with a 305 on base, had 9 home runs, 23 RBIs. However, to end that season, to end last year, the final month of the year, he did finish in the last month with a 794 OPS. So a really nice end of the season for Marcus Semien. He's a very good offensive player. You go back to his 2019 numbers, which are the last full season numbers we're talking about, and he was third in AL MVP voting. He was named to the MLB All-Second Team. He hit 285 with a 369 on base percentage, had 33 home runs. He had 92 RBIs. His strikeout numbers were down. He walked like 80-something times. And he had an OPS of 892 for the year and had a 7.3 WAR, which is unheard of. So you go to his last season, full year in the big leagues, and that's what it is. And all that is 2020 removed. So kind of like the whole Kirby Yates situation. Kirby Yates didn't have a great year last year, ran into some injury issues, but the prior year, he was insanely good. The prior couple of years, he was insanely good. Marcus Semien, after his first couple of years in the big leagues where he really just could not play defense to save his life, he's really worked on his defense a lot and gotten a lot better on the defensive side of the ball. And the fact that this guy can flat out swing. He hit 33 bombs in 2019. He hit even 7 bombs last season in a down year for him. I'm jacked up, and we hear from Shi Davidi that it seems like he's going to be more of that second base option, and assuming that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is not going to be playing third base, then that means Cavan Biggio will be the primary third baseman, at least for the time being, right? We don't know what's going to happen with the free agency, with Chris Bryant trades, and all this crazy stuff that's being talked about. We don't know what's going to end up happening, but for right now, with the roster and team that we have right this second, that's what it looks like. You know, and Marcus Semien will play second base. You'll have Bichette at shortstop. You'll have Biggio at third. And you'll have probably Vladdy and Tellez rounding out at first base, at least for the time being. Now, if you have Vladimir Guerrero Jr., you know, going over to third base, that opens a lot of things up because then you can have Rowdy Tellez at first. You can have Cavan Biggio at second. You can have Semien at second. But if you want to have Biggio maybe in right field, give a guy Hernandez a DH. It changes the entire complexity if a guy like Vladimir Guerrero Jr. can play third base, right? We all don't really know what's going to happen. We all know that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has a great arm. We know that for a fact. We know that he's lost a ton of weight this offseason and probably is continuing to lose weight, which is fantastic. But that does not change how good of a defender you are. You got to put in the work. So I'm intrigued to see what he's going to look like coming into the spring training, which is very, very close from now. It's not very far away. So I'm jacked up for this Toronto Blue Jays year, guys. I already ran through my notes quick time. But with Marcus Semien now on the team, that it gives you another potent bat, which you acquire. Your offense already wasn't bad. You add a George Springer. You add a Marcus Semien. And he's only 30 years old, guys. He's not some old fart. So he's a good, right in his prime type player. We all know that now with this kind of being done, the defense has been shored up quite a bit in the outfield with George Springer and the infield a little bit more with Marcus Semien. I think now the focus is going to turn 100% to pitching. If they had an opportunity to get another infielder, another depth outfielder, they'll probably do so. But I think the primary focus is going to be on the pitching staff. Do they go after a Jake Odorizzi in the pitching staff? Do they go crazy for a Bauer? I don't see that happening now that they've given $18 million to Marcus Semien and the boatload, 150 for George Springer, and Kirby Yates got his money, and Tyler Chatwood got some money. So, and Robbie Ray got $5 million before he hit free agency. So there's all kinds of money been thrown around by the Toronto Blue Jays. I think this is the biggest offseason when it comes to free agent signings for the Toronto Blue Jays. And Marcus Stroman yapping his mouth before the offseason. Again, buddy, you've been gone for like 2 years. Like, get over it. You're like a bad relationship, right? That just doesn't want to go away. Like, go away. Like, I wanted him to be a Blue Jay. I was sad when he left, and that rest of that year, seeing him pitch in the Mets uniform and talk bad about the Blue Jays when they weren't good, yeah, it kind of hurt. But now that the Jays are on the upswing and he's still trying to bash them, I'm like, buddy, quiet your mouth, all right? Just because you're not getting the big bucks and your team's missing out on some guys, yeah, quit it. The Mets are going to be a very good team. I don't doubt that. But I'm loving what the Toronto Blue Jays front office is doing this offseason. They're doing a lot of great things to improve this team. And I think we can all agree that Mark Shapiro and Ross Atkins are putting this team in a situation that they're going to win. They really are. I'm not worried about George Springer. People get mad at George Springer. Well, after year 5 or 6. Buddy, that's 5 or 6 years in the road. Do you also not realize this? Now take this in. I was listening to the radio and I heard this. I'm like, you know what? You're right. That's fantastic. The way George Springer's contract is, it's front-loaded for one thing. Second of all, George Springer will only have 1 year. It was 1 year left on his deal when Biggio, Bichette, and Guerrero's contracts are up. 1 year. It's going to be a nice transition. Give the big boys some money. Springer will be older, won't be demanding as much money, and if he is, you let him walk because he's 37. They're not going to be in a bad situation, guys. The contract, you look at the big money now and you're like, oh, this is terrible. Whatever, blah, blah, blah. They did a very good job with Springer. I love the signing of Marcus Semien. Now, let's get some arms. Let's get some pitching staff. We love what we got with Kirby Yates. That's fantastic. But now let's keep going. Maybe a lefty Jake McGee's out there as well. I don't know. There's all kinds of talk around the big leagues right now. Now that George Springer, the big name, has fallen, you're seeing more and more and more of the guys kind of falling off. You saw JT Realmuto sign with the Phillies today. There's all kinds of names going off the board. So the Blue Jays, if they want pitching, you got to get going now. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens over the next couple days for the Toronto Blue Jays, guys. The way free agency is starting to pick up here as the season gets closer. All right, so you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. A little bit of a shorter video, but again, talking about a 1 year contract, not easy to go crazy on it, but I'm very excited, all right? So smack the like button if you guys enjoyed this one. Hit the subscribe button if you guys have not already. Comment down below your thoughts on the video, your thoughts on the signing. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Too much money? Not enough money? You think you want more term on it? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. And how do you think he's going to impact this team? Where is he going to play in the field? Where would you like to bat in the lineup? Go crazy, guys, in the comments below. Twitter is down below for myself. Follow up, send me a DM, do all that great stuff. Also, the Instagram link is down in the description, so follow up there if you've not done so already. And I will talk to you guys. Raptors edition tomorrow. They play the Milwaukee Bucks, 7:30 tip-off at Amalie Arena. And the Toronto Maple Leafs, they're playing right now against the Calgary Flames. A great first period, but as we know from Toronto sports, it's only the first period. You can't get too crazy after that, but a very good first period. We'll talk to you guys later tonight, Leafs edition. And as for the Blue Jays, I'm assuming we're not going to talk to you guys, it won't be very long. I'm assuming the Jays are going to stay busy and go out there and get someone else, all right? So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Talk to you guys then.